Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be having a go at the Everyman crossword, which has been published in The Guardian on Sunday the 8th of September 2024. I won't be putting the video up on YouTube until a week later. Yeah, possibly it's a prize crossword, I'm not sure these days, but we don't get any check or clear check buttons down here to help us out, so I never quite know if it's right. But fairly confident. I've just had a complete disaster on the cryptic, second week in a row, so I'm hoping that the Everyman will be as nice as the cryptic was. The Everyman was last week when I was faster on the Everyman than the unfinished cryptic. So enough waffling. Time to crack on, I think, really. So one across. Hairline fracture finally seen in window. That's not new. Tip. Whew. He's in Old Testament. In biblical tower, scratching head. Tower of Babel. Abel. Cain and Abel, yeah. Tower of Babel. Babel fishing. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Short trousers and red heels on dancing. Looks like an anagram of red heels on to me. Let's see if that's an anagram of red heels on. And see that I can't do anagrams. Oops, enough letters. The right number of letters. Lederhosen, I think it'll be. Okay. There's not many words for short trousers. Clothing to boast about. I think that's brag. Garb. Yeah, garb and brag. Okay, so clothing is garb and brag is backwards. Yep, so let's do this one. Sadly hit by snarl where dead end abounds. That looks like that LB makes me think there's a anagram of hit by snarl where dead ends abound. Labyrinths. I think is it I can't. I've got to try and spell labyrinths now. Labyrinths. I think. Small bird illegally traded. I bet. Small bird illegally traded. Could that be an anagram? We're just getting a bit hopeful. Small bird is 9 letters, so probably not. I think it may be. Yeah, maybe it's an anagram of traded. I bet though, because that would have the letters I need. What's that? Traded. I bet. What's that going to be? If it's some kind of bearded tit, I think. I think that fits. I think that's a name of a bird I've heard somewhere along the way. So that looks good. It's almost always off the charts. One hit wonder. I think charts. It's almost always off the charts. One hit wonder. I don't quite understand the definition. I mean, I know what chart records are and so on, but why it's always off the charts, almost always off. Andre's denounced to some extent somewhere on the Elba. On the Elbe. Andre's denounced looks like an anagram Andre, but to some extent. Or is that more like Dresden for a very clever hidden word with that apostrophes and that accent to throw you off? What's this? Open, clear at the outset. Everyman's on the rugby pitch, unwell and too old. Open and everyman's on rugby pitch. Clear at the outset. Open the door. What's this? ED. Warned treadle malfunctioning. Alerted. I mean, this is nice. This is what I want from crosswords, you know, just to come in, enjoy them. Forecaster making net gains in speech. Get some clues in. Forecaster making net gains in speech. In speech probably means it's a sound like profit and profit. There we go. Hairline fractures finally seen in window. That's not new. Tip. Hairline fractures. Hairline fractures finally. Would probably be an S. Hairline. I haven't actually looked at these down. Aha! Aha! Somewhere to get a drink. I don't know what to do with that clue. Given there's an L there. A drink is probably ale. This one, twice act the fool. Dodo. Do. Act is to do, isn't it? Yep. Can we read novel? Okay, a big one. War and Peace, I think. and it's all that and there, and then the first word made me think War and Peace. That's anagram of par. Can we read? Yep. This one, constituents of saliva in play area. That must be a sandpit, mustn't it? As, what's this? Bob Marley song. I Shot the Sheriff's intro. I Live remastered. So is that some kind of intro? ISTS. It's as it's ists. Is it? Let's see if there's a so are we looking at, okay, this is an interesting clue. Are we looking for a Bob Marley song and then I Shot the Sheriff, take some of those letters, is, and then live remastered. And then the word for live remastered would be evil, if that's an anagram. Intro live. 244, that's four song. I don't know, interesting one that. I don't know if that is as actually, let's take that out. In line, I nearly ran being obstinate. Just looking back to that and seeing hairline, remembering Widow's Peak. Not sure why tip is a peak. Window, ceiling window, that's not new. So take the N out of that, put the S on the end of widow. Well, I suppose. Well, aha. Well, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Top half got in very nicely. Is this an ish word, I suppose? He ignores issues over a case of suet that's fattening. Issues could be something to do with children. He ignores issues over case of suet. Case of suet is ST. That's fattening. He ignores. That's fattening. Lardish. ST in there somewhere, I think. Let's see what else we got. Characters from Tinseltown go along to see player's worst fear. Player as in stage actor, which would be worst fear would be to forget your lines, to dry up or something. Characters from Tinseltown. Characters. So I've seen character a few times recently. It's been like the apostrophe in a word. What you expect with cricket below lifeless. What you expect with cricket below lifeless. Suddenly stopped French PM losing energy in part of Benelux. So French PM is Macron, but that's not got an E in it. Benelux. Benelux is Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, obviously. Well, not obvious, but it is. Could it be? Is it the new guy, which is Michael Barnier, wasn't it? No, it can't be Barnier. I think he's just been adopted. So I'm thinking French president in Macron, but the French PM is just been appointed. I think it's Barnier, but which would losing energy would take out the E, but I don't think. I think it's spelled. Don't think that's right. So what's this? Inline. I nearly ran, being obstinate. Okay, that one looked at. Let's go down the clues. Brother repulsed by small globes. Bros, I think. Orbs. Is that right? Orbs. Yeah. Bro. Turn backwards. No, orbs. Sorry, orbs. Bros. Just thinking of Matt and Luke there too much. Greatest part of capitals, etc. with carbon reduction. Oh, greatest parts of capitals, etc. with carbon reduction makes me think of. I think we need to take an anagram of carbon, etc. Maybe without the C. Carbon reduction definitely says to me take off C. Apitals et greatest. Greatest is going to be an est word, isn't it, really then? Let's have a look, see if that's going to help me. Capitals, apitals. Just take off one for now. Greatest. Can't see it. Can't see it if it's there. What's this? Oh, river goddess. I think river. Is Styx a river? Styx is that a goddess like Styx? I don't think so. Unlikely. Is Avon a goddess? It's not going to end in V though, is it? Oh, here's a primarily clue. P.I. Proudly impenitent artiste français primarily. So Edith Piaf. Very good. Piaf. Est. Ist. Greatest parts. What's this one? Even so, sentences that depict fruit, etc. Even so, sentences. Even so, nevertheless, sentences that depict fruit, etc. Just looking at this one above, which looks like 50-50 equals odd. No, that's surely even. I don't quite understand. 50-50 is even. I don't understand the odd bit of that. What it's trying to get to, or what it's trying to do in the clue. What the surface is doing in the clue more than what the clue is doing. So, if it's a Bob Marley song, I'm in trouble because I know a few, but Three Little Birds doesn't really fit in there. As intro live remastered, if that's it can't be evil, can it? Because that doesn't fit. That's got BL. It must be a intransible. In line. I nearly ran. I think that's in line. I nearly ran. In irascible. Irascible. Could be irascible. I don't think irascible means that. It can't be irascible because there's an N. Not sure. What's this? What you expect with cricket? Below lifeless. Cricket. Let's go back to this one down here. Clear at the outset. Everyman's on rugby pitch. I like to look at the whole grid there. Clear at the outset. Everyman's on. Line up a bit better. I think that's probably on top, isn't it? Not quite. Clear at the outset. I think that's open. Open. Off. On rugby pitch. I mean, the other ill. On rugby pitch. Scrolling because I'm back on their letters. Yeah. Clear is open and shut. Too old. Everyman is I'm or it me. Rugby pitch is a rugby pitch. I can't really think what else you call a rugby pitch. Unwell and too old is over the hill. I think that is. I'll is unwell. Ill. Sorry, ill is unwell. Although everyman is ill. Sorry. Open is over. Oh, I don't know. I think it's over. I think that's right. Over the hill. Too old is over the hill. That much I do know. This one I'm going to come back to. He ignores. Issues over case. That's fattening. case of suet would be ST, I suppose, as I had before. I don't feel overly happy about over the hill because I'm not really able to pass it other than the unwell is ill. Too old is over the hill. Unwell is ill. Just looking at the outset, EORP. It doesn't really work. Clear at the outset. Overt. Okay, overt. Everyman's he. On rugby pitch. I just don't know where this H comes from. I mean, there's an H at the end of pitch. Oh, okay. On the rugby pitch is the goalpost. An H. Golly. Wow. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, at least it's correct. So to speak. Capital. Greatest parts, etc. With carbon reduction. Got 2 eyes now. I can't be anything to do with an anagram really. This one, look at the anagram thing to make it easier. Even so, sentences that depict fruit, etc. Sentences are lines, but that doesn't work. Lines that depict fruit. Words that are LF, lifts, lofts, lifes isn't really a word, lives is. Not overly convinced by, I mean those ones I'm fairly convinced by, so whether that ST is correct, I mean overcase, he ignores issues, overcase of suet, that's fattening. Now in the case of suet, I'm just going to check I've spelt that right. I'm sure it's lab, LABYRINTHS. Labyrinth, I'm fairly comfortable with that. He ignores issues. I'm kind of thinking he, het. Okay, so that's fattening. I mean, it's going to just be something that's fattening, isn't it? Sweets or, you know, something ish, itch, ostrich. He ignores. It's an ostrich, isn't it? Wow, and rich is fattening. Okay, over. Case of Sir ST, fattening, rich. Whoa. Okay. We've kind of gone from a top half that just went boom, like that, boom, and to a half of a moment to go, really? How's that work? Characters from Tizzletown go along to see players' worst fear. Players' worst fear, I would think, is, well, it's either one or out, I would think, or off, Broadway, off. What you expect with cricket, below lifeless. Not really getting, what's this? Have I actually looked at this clue? I haven't actually looked at the whole clue. Diminish, empty, desolate expanse. It feels like it's going to be desert, but it can't be. Diminishes to cut. Diminish, empty, desolate expanse. Desert. Sahara. Diminish can be to reduce. Empty. Desolate would be DE. I think it's DE for empty, desolate, and then expanse is deflate, diminish, let's have a look at this. French PM. Oh. Let's take that out for a minute. Losing energy. I can't think of Mitterrand. I don't know if he's a president or a PM. Jacques Chirac is another one. Part of Benelux. I would think that's Lowland, isn't it? I think the Lowlands Benelux. Why that would be Lowland, I'm not sure if that is Lowland. Is that Lowland? And then gives me a W. That doesn't help me much, does it? Inline. Something like in. Well, it's I'm pretty fairly comfortable. That's an BLE in there. Assuming that's even, which I'm not entirely convinced of, given how the second half of this crossword has gone. In unknowable, knowable, no. Inline. No, not knowable. Unswayable? And if so, why is it unswayable? I nearly ran being obstinate, sorry. I think that's unswayable, isn't it? But why? I'm not sure. Oh, golly. Let's have a look at that and see what, with the answer in there, if I can figure out. In line, I nearly ran. Being obstinate. I mean, being obstinate is unswayable, definitely. I nearly ran. In line. Not particularly convinced by the answer. I mean, most of the answers actually, when I've got them, are gettable, understandable, even although ostrich wasn't. What you expect with cricket? This one, Bob Marley song, I Shot the Sheriff. Bob Marley song, I Shot the Sheriff's intro, so that's an S. I Shot the Sheriff's intro, live remastered. Could this be love? I wonder if there's a love at the end of that. Live and intro might be. Okay, remastered. I shot. Seemed like anagram indicators. Bob Marley song as. I think that's love. I don't know what the word is though. So that gives me live. I haven't got another L though. If that's Lowland. I mean, I'm guessing a bit here at this point, so Lowland. Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Benelux, the Lowland countries, I think. Let's take that out for a second and just see what intro live with an S will get me. Is this love? Can't be, can it? I've got intro live. I haven't got many O's there, have I? What have I got left? Is into love. Is this love? In. Okay, the sheriff's intro is an S and live. Okay, let's redo that. So we've got the. So it's, I think it's I, the. Sheriff's intro is S and live. Remaster that. Is this love? Is that right? Is this Well, I've got something extra here, haven't I? What have I put in there again? So, Bob Marley song. I shot. Hang on, I shot the sheriff. Shot the S. Live doesn't fit. Is this love? Live. I live. I think I feel fairly good with that. Sheriff's intro is that. I don't know. I'm going to just put it in. Kind of feeling like, is this love? I don't think that's right. So hang on. What do you expect from cricket? Let's take all that stuff out for now. Holland with an E on the end is the president, isn't he? The PM, sorry. French PM. If I could remember things like that. That fairly kind of makes me think, yes, is this love must be the name. Can't really quite figure out how that gets that. I shot the... Sure there's some letters there that don't quite work, but maybe it's just the L goes on the end of intro L, I don't know. Unplayable. I nearly ran. In line. I. Unil. Unil. Nearly ran in. Whoa. What you expect with cricket? I don't expect anything with cricket. It's not a sport I watch anymore. I did watch it once, did enjoy it once in my life. Not anymore. What do you expect with cricket? See lots of runs, win the Ashes, become lifeless, see dead. Let's go back to the D clue. This one. Diminish, empty, diminish is to D something. Empty, desolate. So empty, out, desolate leaves you the D and the E from the start and first letters. Expanse is a diminish, detract. I think that's attract is an expanse, isn't it? Hey, got some letters on the goddamn. Unfortunately, it's this one about lines and sentences. Even so, still, life's. Okay, I did say life's, and I was thinking about fruit in that respect, but who's this? Is this a river? It's a river, isn't it? River goddess. I think that's the river Isis, which means that can't be. Okay, IS, that's fair enough. IUR. Greatest parts of capitals, etc. with carbon reduction. What have we got here? Characters from Tinseltown. So that's Hollywood, isn't it? I've got an OL, Hollywood. Going along to see players' worst fear. Room 101 is your worst fear. Okay, so this isn't. Yeah, what am I? Just come up to 30 minutes, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Although so much of that went in so quickly, it feels like I've been here for a lot longer. What do you expect of cricket? Something test match, test. Characters from Tinseltown. Go along to see players' worst fear. I wonder if that's under. Below is under, isn't it? Let's just put that there for means that would have to be owned, doesn't it? Own. Own Goal. Haha. Hidden word. In Tinseltown, go along. Own goal. Characters from, telling you that. So I think that's under. That was lucky. Well, not lucky, that was a good spot. Below. Lifeless is 6 feet under. Phrase for if you've been buried. Oh, what's this? Inexplicable? Unplacatable? So I've got two long words which just need some filling in. Inline. I mean, I've assumed it's a BLE at the end. Being obstinate. Flexible, inflexible. Line is flex, isn't it? I'll have a look at it when I come to decode the clues. Okay, so down to the last one, somewhere around 30 minutes. That's the kind of time I like to take on these, even though it feels a lot worse. Apart from greatest parts of carbon, etc., with greatest parts of capitals, etc., with carbon reduced. Cool. Can that be capitals somehow without? Let's put capitals. Capitals. Let's try and spell it. 2, 3, 4. I've got 3 other letters to add in there, which could be etc. Got 2 I's to get from somewhere though. That's the problem with it being an anagram. But let's see if this just gives me an idea. I've got an S on the end already. I don't think that's going to get me to anything that helps me. What's this going to be? Cis, greatest parts, capitals, etc., with carbon reduction. I know this is PF, but I'm going to double check it. Proudly impenitent artiste français, PF. Primarily is definitely that kind of clue. What have I got here? Greatest part, sort of capitals, etc., with carbon reduction. So what's carbon reduction? Is carbon reduction? I'm sure carbon reduction is just take a C off. Greatest parts of capitals. This another. Can't be another hidden word, though, can it? Because I haven't got an A and an O close to each other. Can't be an anagram of carbon reduction, or carbon, sorry. Oh, what goes over here? ITins, gins, oof, what would that be? I'm going to go through the clues at this point. I will come back to this and have a look at it at the end, because I've been on this for just over 30 minutes, and maybe when I come back to it I'll suddenly spot what it is fresh. So what have we got? We've got one across, hairline fractures. So hairline is a widow's peak, fractures is an S, finally seen in window, that's not new, so take window, hairline fractures is the S, seen in window, that's not windows, that's not new. Tip, so tip is a peak. Windows without the N is widow, and then put the S in the middle to get to widow's peak. Nothing complicated going on there, surely. He's in the OT, the Old Testament, in biblical tower, scratching head. So biblical tower is the Tower of Babel, where all the languages of the world were kind of spoken or something. Scratching the head of Babel gives you Abel, and Cain and Abel are the story in the Old Testament. Short trousers are lederhosen, and we've got an anagram of, what was it, red heels on, indicated by dancing. So I don't think and is part of that. I think it's just red heels on is the anagram material, and dancing is telling us to anagram it. Clothing is garb, and if you boast you're bragging, but we need to turn brag around, so brag around B-R-A-G. Definitely goes in that way because the A and the B are in place. It's almost always off the charts. One hit wonder. I mean, a one hit wonder is just a song that comes in once. Now, why I'm kind of struggling with that is because in my head, a one hit wonder is actually the group that only have a one hit, so they're almost off. They're all, a band would be off the charts. A one hit wonder will be on the charts while it's on the charts, but most records aren't on the charts once they're gone. But one hit wonder normally refers to the band, so a little bit strange that one in the definition, but fairly easy to get to. This one, constituents of saliva in play area. Again, a little bit. I mean, saliva is spit, S and pit. So so the constituents of saliva are S and pit. To get to a play area, which is a sand pit. Okay. Under is denounced. We've got a hidden word Dresden, and to some extent it's telling us that that's hidden in there. Dresden is somewhere on the Elbe. Elbe? Place in Germany anyway. French PM, I think it's Francois Hollande, with an E on the end of his name. Losing energy, take the E off, gets you part of Benelux, which is, as I say, is Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg, and Holland is a place within Netherlands. I think it's a region of the Netherlands. He ignores, so an ostrich ignores things, stick your head in the sand. He ignores issues, sorry. So ostrich ignores issues. Over is no. Case of sir is the case of it, so the S and the T. And that's fattening is rich. What you expect with cricket, below lifeless. So, what you expect with cricket? I mean, you'd like to see sixes at cricket. Below is under. 6 feet under is the term for when you've buried someone, so they're dead, which is lifeless. I'm not sure what the feet is doing there really. What you expect with cricket below lifeless? What you expect with cricket? 6 feet. Don't quite get that bit. Brother, repulse, so bro backwards, and then put an S for small, gives you orbs, which are globes. Fair enough. This one, greatest parts of capitals, etc., with carbon reduction. I wonder if that's cities. Greatest parts of cities. Capitals are cities, definitely. Greatest parts. Carbon reduction is not sure. Okay, I'm going to come back, go on to the clues. So 50-50 is even. You've got an even chance. Equals odd, no. Well, if it's not odd, then it must be even. I suppose it's just double definition, isn't it? So it's saying 50-50 is even, and if it's odd, no is even. Even so, if I say even so, I say still, well, even so, still, that's how it goes. Sentences, life sentence, so plural of that, lives, and still lifes are type of painting, so depicting fruit, i.e. things that don't move, as opposed to people. So look at the down clues. Aha. Okay, so aha is like phrase that you use, say, aha, I understand it now. Well, not the best synonym, but I suppose so. Somewhere to get a drink, or you go to a well, you drink from the well. Twice act, so do and do, gives you the four, which is a dodo. Can we read is an anagram of War and Peace, so novel telling us it's an anagram indicator, and a big novel is War and Peace, apparently. Something like 800, 900 pages, maybe more. I spotted the TV series on iPlayer last night and thought, shall I start that? I've never seen it, never read the book, not going to read the book, because the book is apparently very difficult to read, lots of characters, so I'm not sure. Forecaster, so a profit, spelled that way, so forecaster. A net gain is a profit with an F in it, in speech telling us we're looking for a noun, a sound like of a net gain with a profit, with an F in it. Warned is alerted. Treadle is an anagram of alerted, treadle, and malfunctioning is telling us it's the anagram to do. Small bird, I guess, is a bearded tit. Illegal is telling us it's an anagram of traded I bet. So traded I bet is an anagram of bearded tit. Sadly is an anagram indicator of hit by snarls, so labyrinths, and there's lots of dead ends in a labyrinth. Clear at the outset, so overt is clear at the outset. Everyman is he. Something on a rugby pitch is the goalposts, which are shaped like an H, and unwell is ill, and if you're too old, you're over the hill. Well, Bob Marley song, I guess. Is this love? It must be a Bob Marley song. I can only think of could this be love? So not sure about that bit. I is the I at the start. Shot the sheriff. Intro live. I mean, there's sheriff's intro. I think is an S. It's the intro of that. We've got the live. The live, and somewhere in there we're getting an O for I shot. Oh, let's take it out. Okay, there it is. I shot. There's I shot, and then we've got the S from sheriff's intro, and we've got live. Okay, there you go. That's how it somehow rearranges itself into is this love. Oh, okay. In line, I nearly ran. Being obstinate. So being obstinate is inflexible. I think in is in. Flex is a line, cable flex, flex, and then I, and then nearly ran. Bled, I suppose, without the D on it. Nearly ran, so it nearly bled. Cool. Diminishes to detract. Empty, desolate, so empty out the letters of desolate gives you a D, leaves you the D and an E, and expanse is attract. Characters from Tinseltown, characters from Tinseltown go along. So we've got hidden word in Tinseltown go along, of own goal, and a player's worst fear would be an own goal. So characters from telling us there's a hidden word in there. Got the primarily clue here, proudly impenitent artiste français. So Edith Piaf is famous French singer. So Piaf is the initial letters of those 4 words. River goddess, so the river Isis. I think that's in Britain. I think that's near Cambridge. Definitely Cambridge row their boat in the boat race. Their reserve boat, I think it's called Isis, or the women's boat is Isis. Not sure. And the goddess, Isis was a goddess. So haven't solved this one. I might come back and have another look at it later on. But I would think parts of capitals, etc., are cities. Greatest parts. I want that to be mega. Was like a carbon reduction. I can't quite see what's, unless it's capitals with carbon reduction. So take off that. It leaves it is okay. And this bit, greatest parts. Oh, parts of cities. So that means greatest, doesn't it? I guess. I think the clue is trying to get to greatest. So then parts of capitals, etc., with carbon reduction. So I need take out the C. Whoa, because I'm reducing the carbon with carbon, and then reduction. I can't see it at the moment. If I figure it out in the week, I'll do it again and splice it on the video. Hello, I think I've solved it. Now, if you're wondering, the screen's set up slightly differently, but I needed to scroll down here to be able to show you the full clue, but I then wondered why the top part's gone off. And so when I was comparing through, I found that this clue here, 17 across, has changed from being French Prime Minister to French President. So Francois Hollande, who was the he was actually the president before Emmanuel Macron, so up until 2017. But originally the clue had been Prime Minister, PM, and that's why it was able to show up. So minor aside, the actual clue, greatest parts of capitals, etc., with carbon reduction. I tried some alphabet drawing, so I think I first did my solve at about 9 o'clock this morning, and then maybe had another quick look at it about 11 or 12 o'clock, and then again about 4 o'clock this afternoon. I had a few minutes, and at one point I thought it might be taxonomies, tax being a reduction, and taxonomies are the greatest parts of a whole, but wasn't that, so I then gave up. And then I've come back to it again this evening, done some more alphabet drawing, that didn't help me, and then suddenly thought, capitals, etc. Capitals are actually major cities, and therefore if we put major cities and take out the, major city, I can't even type, major cities, but take out the C, you get majorities, and majorities are the greatest parts of. So there you go, there's the answer. Now the other thing I noticed actually while I was just reviewing it a bit earlier was that this 20 across, I think I said I didn't understand how that clue worked fully. I didn't understand where the feet came from. And what I've now realised is actually that when it says what you expect with cricket below lifeless, the what you expect with cricket part is not referring to the sport, which is what made me think of scoring a 6. It's actually referring to the insect cricket. And insects, I think the cricket insect has 6 feet. 6 legs, therefore has 6 feet, and then below is under, and lifeless is 6 feet under. So I think that explains that clue now. So hopefully that's the whole thing solved. And I'm just going to attempt to pen this on to the end of the video. So thank you for watching.